Welcome to Democracy Now!, democracynow.org, the War and Peace Report. I'm Amy Goodman. President Trump is holding a summit with Russian President Vladimir Putin today in Helsinki, Finland. This morning, Trump and Putin made a statement at a photo op before their private meeting, in which Trump said he and Putin would discuss China trade and nuclear weapons.
And I really think the world wants to see us get along. We are the two great nuclear powers. We have 90% of the nuclear, and that's not a good thing. It's a bad thing. And I think we hopefully can do something about that, because it's not a positive force, it's a negative force.
Speaking this morning, President Trump also said he hoped for better relations between the United States and Russia.
I think we have great opportunities together as two countries that, frankly, we have not been getting along very well for the last number of years. I've been here not too long, but it's getting close to 2 years. But I think we will end up having an extraordinary relationship. I hope so. I've been saying, and I'm sure you've heard over the years, and as I campaigned, that getting along with Russia is a good thing, not a bad thing.
Today's summit between Trump and Putin comes only days after the U.S. Justice Department indicted 12 Russian intelligence agency members as a part of Special Counsel Robert Mueller's investigation of Russian interference in the 2016 election. Mueller's team accuses the 12 Russians of hacking the emails and computer networks of Hillary Clinton's campaign, the Democratic National Committee, and the Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee. There have been a number of protests in Helsinki criticizing both Trump and Putin, including 300 billboards lining the route from the airport to the site of the summit that criticized Trump and Putin's crackdown on the press. One poster at the airport read, quote, "Mr. President, welcome to the land of free press," while another read, quote, "Trump calls media the enemy of the people." On Sunday, thousands took to the streets of Helsinki, protesting Trump and Putin and demanding human rights, free speech, and pro-refugee policies. President Trump also faced protests during his visit to Scotland this weekend, where a paraglider flew over Trump's Turnberry golf course, holding a sign that read, "Trump well below par," while protesters rallied outside his private golf resort.
He's a racist, a misogynist. There is a whole list, a catalogue of insensibilities that he brings to that esteemed office, the President of the United States. But most of all, I don't think he should own a local hotel in Turnberry. I think he should just go back to America.
250,000 people also poured into the streets across Britain on Friday to protest Trump's first visit to the UK as president. In Pakistan, funerals are being held for the victims of Friday's massive bombing at an election campaign gathering in the southwestern province of Baluchistan. Al Jazeera reports up to 149 people were killed, nearly 200 more wounded, making it the third deadliest attack in Pakistan's history. The bombing targeted an election rally of the Baluchistan Awami Party ahead of the July 25th national elections. ISIS has claimed responsibility for the attack. Among those killed was a Baluchistan Provincial Assembly candidate, Siraj Raisani. This is the slain candidate's brother, Haji Lashkari.
These kinds of incidents have been happening in our country's history. These incidents are condemned verbally, and sympathies are also offered verbally, but no solid measures are taken to prevent them.
On Friday night, hours after the deadly bombing, former Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif and his daughter Mariam were arrested at the Lahore airport as they returned to Pakistan from London in efforts to bolster Sharif's political party, the Pakistan Muslim League, Nawaz ahead of the elections. Their arrests came after Sharif and his daughter were convicted in absentia last week in a corruption case that Sharif's reporters say was manufactured by the Pakistani military and his political opponents. In Gaza, thousands of people attended the funerals of two Palestinian teenagers killed by Israeli airstrikes Saturday during Israel's heaviest bombing assault on Gaza since the 2014 war. The The two boys, 15-year-old Amir al-Nimri and 16-year-old Luai Kahil, were killed by the Israeli airstrikes while they were playing on a roof. 30 more Palestinians were wounded in the barrage of airstrikes, which Israel claimed was in retaliation for rockets fired from Gaza toward Israel, which wounded 4 Israelis. This is Maysoon al-Namra, the mother of 15-year-old Amir, who was killed in the Israeli bombing.
He went to play and eat with his friend. He didn't have a rocket or a bomb. He told me, "I will go out for lunch with my friend Loe." They're close friends from school. They hang out after school, and they were killed together.
The Israeli bombing Saturday comes after Israeli soldiers have killed at least 136 Palestinians and wounded over 14,000 more since the Palestinians' nonviolent Great March of Return protests began on March 30th. The Trump administration seeking to hold direct talks with the Taliban aimed at ending the ongoing 17-year U.S. war in Afghanistan. The potential diplomatic effort comes as the Taliban has carried out a string of deadly attacks against the U.S.-backed Afghan security forces, even after the Trump administration deployed thousands more U.S. troops to Afghanistan. Last month, the Taliban and Afghan security forces organized a historic 3-day ceasefire while grassroots peace activists participated in 435-mile peace march. In Haiti, Prime Minister Jacques Lafontaine has resigned amidst a wave of anti-austerity protests sparked by the government's plan to raise fuel prices at the behest of the International Monetary Fund. This is lawmaker Abel Dessalines responding to the Prime Minister's resignation.
It is a first step in the peaceful revolution, a political revolution, to overthrow the Haitian political system and to bring some elements before justice for trivializing the laws and the Constitution which hinder the country.
Back in the United States, San Diego Judge Dana Sabra has blasted the Trump administration's Health and Human Services Department after a senior official with the department claims swiftly reuniting children separated from their parents at the border by immigration officials could place the kids in danger. In response, Judge Sabra accused HHS of manufacturing the risk to the children in order to, quote, provide cover to defendants for their own conduct in the practice of family separation and the lack of foresight and infrastructure necessary to remedy the harms caused by that practice, the judge said. Judge Sabra has ordered the Trump administration must reunite the nearly 3,000 separated children with their parents by July 26th. In Chicago, protests erupted Saturday after police officers shot and killed a 37-year-old African-American man on the south side of Chicago. Harith Augustus was a well-known barber, father of a 5-year-old daughter. An edited clip of body camera video released Sunday shows at least 4 officers approaching Augustus, who's wearing a holster containing a pistol. Records show Augustus had a legal permit to carry a firearm. In the video, Augustus then tries to run away from the officers when an officer opens fire, shooting him repeatedly. The police claim he was reaching for his gun at the time of the shooting. On Saturday night, hundreds of Chicago residents took to the streets to protest his killing. Video of the protest shows police attacking protesters with batons. At least 4 people were arrested. And in an Atlanta suburb, 2 police officers have been placed on administrative leave after body camera video showed them joking about using a coin flip app to decide whether to arrest a motorist on her way to work. After the virtual coin flip, the Roswell police officers, Courtney Brown and Christy Wilson, arrested the driver, Sarah Webb, and accused her of driving over 80 miles an hour on a road with a speed limit of 45 miles an hour. The arresting officers did not have a radar gun and admitted they estimated her driving speed. Webb spent the day in jail until her charges were dropped. And those are some of the headlines. This is Democracy Now!, democracynow.org, The War and Peace Report. I'm Amy Goodman.